It's a great big pile of MacBook Pros.
Ooh.
I snagged them before they went into the bin. There's a total of 15 laptops, or the remains of laptops, mostly 13-inch models with a stray 15-inch and 17-inch model. And with this many lappies to deal with, you need to get organized. Most of the machines were pretty clean. They just needed a wipe down with a gentle cleaner. On the side, we have lots of yummy ports. Power connector, Ethernet, display, Thunderbolt, USB ports, and a card reader. They make the MacBook Pros thicker than the new ones, which are outrageously thin. But the new MacBooks are limited to 2 USB-C ports. I like my machines to have lots of ports. There's a DVD-CD drive on the other side. I know they're going out of style, but I still like having them. One feature I really like about these puppies is the easy detach power cord. You won't break your power connector if you accidentally pull on it. And I have my trusty Dell laptop so I can follow the iFixit manuals online. I also have my iFixit toolkit handy. It's not sponsored, but I recommend getting one for all your laptop needs. Upon closer examination, some of the laptops were too physically beat up to rescue. Missing covers, smashed keyboards, and fragile ports. These I looted for RAM and batteries. I also noted that many were missing back cover screws, which are really tiny and easy to lose. Someone has been in these machines before me. Inside, several had broken screw holes that held in the battery. Whoever was inside these machines before me didn't do a great job of it. I was able to snag the power bricks too, so I was able to boot each one individually if I wanted to. Most booted into something. The OSs installed were pretty varied, ranging from Lion to Sierra. Most of the 13-inch machines were from 2011 to 2012. There were 2 accounts on each machine, a user and an admin. Fortunately, the admin password was the same on all of them, and I knew the password. So I was able to get the basic hardware specs, including the version of Mac software on each one. The battery life was all over the place, from 120 cycles to over 600. Just to be safe, I lifted the battery connection whenever I was inside one of these puppies. The connectors are kind of weird and need to be gently pried off. I bought several replacement batteries, and they came with a plastic sponger and screwdrivers to open the back cover and to loosen the screws holding the battery in place. They even had extra back plate and battery screws. Handy. And I bought a bunch of SSDs. I used either SanDisk or Samsung 240 gigabyte drives. They have half the capacity of the original 500 gigabyte spinning Rust drives, but they are faster and they were on sale. All the machines had the original spinning Rust drives. After removing the drive holders, these easily slip out. With the iFixit kit, I had the proper screwdriver to swap the mounting screws from the old drive to the zippy SSD. You'll want to create a bootable USB, so you'll have some kind of operating system to work with. This information can be found on the Apple website. I chose to download and install High Sierra because all the laptops will take up the High Sierra. And since we're dealing with different firmware for different types of MacBooks, I needed a bunch of different install USBs for OpenCore Patcher. I had a few drives die on me, so I had to stock up on them. You'll need an age-appropriate Mac, so I used one of the more recent laptops to download and create the USB. When you boot up using the blank SSD, you'll need to reformat it. Then you can boot using the USB. It goes through the standard install, so just follow the directions and agree to all of the terms. Now we're cooking. I downloaded OpenCore Legacy Patcher on another machine and transferred it via USB stick. The Legacy Patcher is a moving target with frequent updates. There are many YouTube videos and websites on installing OpenCore, and I strongly suggest looking over several of them before launching the program. Other people have done a much better job of explaining it than I can. Creating an install USB with the new OS will take some time, so make yourself a sandwich and a cup of coffee. OpenCore will reboot a lot, so don't get freaked out. For the OS, I chose Monterey because there were some issues with Sonoma at that time. This proved to be a good choice because some of the older machines with weaker graphics, Intel HD 3000, didn't work well with Sonoma. The 2012 models with the Intel HD 4000 graphics were later upgraded to Sonoma without issue. The dual-core i5 is a limiting factor in the laptop's performance, but for most day-to-day tasks, they work fairly well. I found the following quirk when I was using OpenCore Legacy Patcher 1.3. If you've installed a new OS and installed the patcher onto the hard disk, after a reboot, you may get a notice that you're still booting off the USB instead of the hard disk. This happened to me several times, so I pressed the Option key when powering back up. Then, instead of selecting the OpenCore Patcher on the far right with the hard drive icon, I chose the one on the far left that looks sort of like a microSD card, or maybe an M.2 icon. Anyways, this points the install to the SSD drive. Remember that OpenCore is a moving target, and a lot of documentation doesn't get quickly updated. One other thing. On startup, some of the machines had their fans go full speed and wouldn't ramp down. I needed to reset the SMC, or System Management Control. The SMC is responsible for managing power on your Mac. Resetting it can resolve certain uncommon issues related to power or thermal management. The procedures differ for the different types of Macs. On these puppies, shut down your Mac. On your laptop keyboard, press and hold all of these keys. Shift on the left side of your keyboard, Control on the left side of your keyboard, Option on the left side of your keyboard. While holding all of these keys, press and hold down the power button as well. Hold them all down for 10 seconds, then release. Then you can press the power button and boot normally. I had to do this several times for some of the laptops, but it worked. Thank you, Apple. And here are the results. We have 4 13-inch MacBook Pros and one 15-inch MacBook running Sonoma. 2 13-inch and one 17-inch MacBook Pro running Monterey. Out of 15 trashed machines, we have 8 fully functional laptops. It was a lot of work, but hey, now we have laptops saved from the dump and ready to donate. I hoped you enjoyed the video. If you have, like, comment, subscribe. I'm a tiny channel with no Patreon or sponsors, so every response really makes my day. Research how to fix different things. Learn new skills. Buy new handy-dandy tools. Rescue old systems. And as always, stay curious.